I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about no response is a response. So this comes up pretty often after a breakup where you may have reached out to an ex and they don't reply to you. And we thought it'd be good to talk about this because it's a scary thing to go through.
Well, it's a very powerful non-response. Yeah.
So we had
the silence is deafening.
Yeah. So we got a quick little email that gave us this idea for the topic. And they just said, "Hi, Margaret and Craig. Thank you both for the incredible work you put out. I hate to admit that I broke no contact.
Oh.
Don't kill me, please. LOL.
No, we won't.
I did it before I found your channel. Here's what I'm wondering, and I was hoping you could talk about this in a video. When I did reach out, my ex never replied. I asked him if he wanted to talk. He didn't reply. The silence was awful. I actually felt worse afterwards.
I bet.
So, would love to hear your thoughts on this topic." Okay. All right. So, if you have decided to go no contact, oftentimes you may do it for weeks or months and you haven't heard from this person and it starts to get to you. And all it takes is that one build up that leads to a moment of weakness where you're just like, I'm going to do it. And I actually talked to somebody this week that, you know who it is. She contacted her ex and reached out to her the day before my call with her.
Oh.
And I'm like, you just wanted me to have to pick up the pieces of what was going to happen. You just couldn't wait the one extra day.
You knew you had the call coming.
And you
so,
did the Skype with her.
Yes.
So you know who I'm talking
Yes, I
about.
do.
And I'm like, if you just waited.
A day.
And so then I had to explain, because she was in a really complicated situation.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of times you're sitting there just, should I reach out? And you start to panic. You start to catastrophize things.
Yeah.
You start to see pictures on social media of your ex, and you're scared that they're going to move
and
on.
you see pictures in your head.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You start telling yourself this story, and then you reach out. Okay? Now, sometimes your ex will respond to you. Of course, you know, there's no way to know whether they will or they won't.
Right.
We're not going to sit there and tell you you're going to get ignored by your ex, because quite frankly, you might not get ignored by your ex. However, there's a good possibility that they will ignore it, they won't reply, right? So, if you're in this situation and you have reached out and your ex doesn't reply, it's going to set off all kinds of anxiety.
Right.
You're going to feel awful.
Yeah.
Right? Because now you're thinking, I just waited 2 months to contact this person, and then they didn't even reply to me, and now you're thinking, oh, gosh, why did I do this?
Is this all I mean to them after the wonderful 3 years we had together?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like a big empty hole somewhere.
And then, of course, we're going to interpret the fact that they didn't respond.
Right.
And their response is telling you something. Okay, now you could go deep and start analyzing. The only thing that you really know is that they don't want to communicate at this time.
Right.
That's
That's
it.
the only thing you really do know, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the rest of it's guesswork.
You could say, oh, they're never going to contact me again. They blocked me. They're, they don't care about me. They don't love me. You can put all kinds of interpretations there. But really, all you really know is that at this moment, at this time, at this day, they don't want to talk to you.
That's what you know.
Try not to make it worse than what it is. Try not to interpret it that that's it forever, it's over, it's gone forever, because it doesn't mean that. It just means right now they don't want to communicate. They could reach out a week later, who knows? But, when you are on the verge of reaching out, you need to really think, am I prepared to be ignored?
Absolutely, you have to think about that. That's one of the potential whatevers. You'll think about all the things they might say, but you may not think about them just not responding.
So, there are several things that could happen. Obviously, they could reply and try and start some kind of conversation with you. That seems like one of the lesser likely scenarios, in my opinion.
Yep.
They could ignore you, which I'd say is a pretty high chance of happening. They could get upset or angry at you. Now, depending upon how much you have bothered them, harassed them, contacted them, is obviously going to have a big...
I was going to say, if they think you're going to be angry, it's going to be very hard for them to respond. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you've repeatedly, pestered them, bothered them, reached out to them, and they kept trying to say, you leave me alone, there's a good chance they're just going to get angry and they're going to lash out. And they may block you at that point. I've seen that a lot, actually. Sometimes an ex will reach out on social media like Instagram or something like that, and the next thing you know, they get blocked.
They get blocked, right.
And they're like, wait, what happened?
I've heard that too.
Yeah. What happened? Sometimes, I've heard this, if you look at their story on like Snapchat or Instagram and they see, oh, they're looking at my stories, they'll block you for that too. So you never know how the ex is going to respond. They could get really tricky in these situations.
Yeah.
So you got to prepare yourself. So I would say to you, if you're not prepared for them to be angry or to ignore you, I wouldn't reach out.
Don't do it. Be prepared for the possibilities. But it's such an impulsive thing, which we're going to talk about later today.
Yeah. I just find that most people actually feel worse after they break no contact.
Right.
For whatever reason, maybe part of it is they just feel like they've let themselves down, that they felt like they should be emotionally stronger, and that, now I just made my situation worse.
I knew I shouldn't have done it, but it seemed like such a good idea at the time.
I've decreased the chances of making them miss me and turning things around. So you got to think about these things. We do face consequences for our decisions. So there's a small possibility you'll get the chance that you want. More than likely, they'll ignore you, they'll be upset, they'll be angry, or they'll block you. So I wouldn't reach out. And you have to remember that if they don't reply to you, and that goes for anybody, that could be if you're dating somebody casually. If you text a woman or a guy and they don't respond,
right?
Don't send them another text. I don't double text people, okay? If I text somebody and they don't respond, it's because I assume they don't want to talk to me because they're not replying. Now, I might try one more time like a week later, but I'm not going to be eager to try and get somebody's attention that is not reaching out or communicating with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want somebody to reciprocate and show me, hey, I'm interested.
somebody you have to chase.
Yeah. And you had a really nice quote that you wanted to share in this video.
This is a quote from a famous speech in antiquity by a fellow named Cicero. And he's talking about this dastardly guy, and he's talking in the old Roman Senate, which was much the same as what we have. And he was saying that everyone hates you, nobody likes what you're doing, and when they are silent, they shout it. Okay.
Yeah. So, really powerful to think about, because silence is a really powerful thing.
Silence is extremely powerful, yes.
And so, no response is a response.
Right.
Don't chase them.
Right. No,
Okay?
don't chase. Yeah.
So, of course, if you want to get our help personally, just go to my website at askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is also available for Skype coaching.
Yes, feel free to sign up with me.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website. Remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you like podcasts, you can now find me on most of the major podcast platforms. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.